Welcome my YouTube channel Luxe Essence. Say hello everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today I wanted to go over nonverbal signs a woman is attracted to you. This was requested. The research is going to be in the description box, and we're going to go over some of the points as well. But overall, this is some research that I've already used on this channel before, so you guys are pretty familiar with some of this. However, we're going to still dissect it together in this video because a lot of you guys will be new. The first one is that actually she speaks in a more softer and higher pitched tone/register. So you're going to register it as higher pitched. Now we've talked about this particular point before in a couple different ways. One research we had discussed is the voicemails, where when a lady leaves a voicemail with a man she's attracted to a man she's attracted to, we can see the pitch is higher. But we also see that there are some subconscious signals that women do this to appear more friendly and non-confrontational, which allows men to feel more comfortable initiating or being more comfortable being around her. So there are two different ways that it can be looked at, because sometimes it can be on purpose. But I don't think on purpose is necessarily always true for women. Sometimes it happens subconsciously or perhaps even biologically. The next one is that actually she's finding reasons to be near you. And we can see a lot of research. This one was 2011, and the first one I talked about was 2011 as well. And the same research. What we're seeing is that she's going to find reasons to be near you, and both men and women do this. But I will say that women do this a little bit more often, simply because, as a lot of folks know, women are a little bit less direct, and so they're going to be a little bit indirect socially as well. Which means that she's going to be behaving in this way because she finds you attractive even if she's not ready to accept it yet, or she's still figuring out how she wants to feel about you, or that she's waiting on you to actually go ahead and say something. And so, an example will be that maybe she sits next to you while doing some of these other things as well. So if she's doing all these things while other aspects as well, it's likely that she's attracted to you. We never want to take just one point, because that can be set up for miscommunication, misconception, and it may just make it more confusing for both you guys. So if she's finding reasons to be near you frequently as well as other of these points, that can be helpful. So, like, I was going to give an example. Let's just say, I don't know, you use a public transportation. I don't use public transportation, so I'm not 100% familiar with the paradigm. But that's an example that I just thought of. Perhaps you guys are always seeing each other. You use the same public transportation every, I don't know, morning before work. You always see her, and often she tries to find seats near you or next to you. And maybe she glances up at you and smiles, or maybe she looks in your direction often. This is probably a person that finds you attractive. The next one is more animated expressions than she normally has. This research was 1993, and then some of these points are also the research in 2011. So, examples of animated expressions are smiling more often, nodding, laughing during interactions that are positively associated. And so, this doesn't have to mean she's laughing at your jokes necessarily. She's just laughing in your presence in a positive way. She's happy, and we can see that the research does show that people do positively associate when folks are laughing or smiling. And so, on the flip side, subconsciously a lot of folks are also doing this when they find you attractive, particularly women, because it's more perceived as she's warm and inviting, which allows you to also feel more relaxed around her. The next one is that there is some relaxed open body language. And this is interesting because some women don't always have this point, which is why I'm putting this caveat. Some women are very nervous and anxious. Like if she has social anxiety, she might not be so relaxed. However, as you get more comfortable with her and build more rapport, you can see that she's incredibly relaxed. Open body language will be more like shoulders back and not with her arms across her chest there. So that's an example of an open body language. The next one is subtle and reciprocal touch. This one alone might be like this one might be the only one that might be standalone depending on her personality. But if she is having some sort of light, I would say like informal touches like your arm or your shoulder or even your leg. That's usually associated with increased feelings of trust, interest, attraction, and also safety. And so, she's able to feel those ways around you, of course. Attraction is one of the main ones we're touching on today. This research was in 2007, and what we also found in this research is this is also some form of courtship, and it's not always intentional. But this research is basically on female behavior in comparison to male behavior, and courtship is still very common with humans. Yes, it's more common. Well, I don't know if it's more common, but I think we're more aware of it in terms of other mammals, but humans do it as well. And just like with a lot of mammals, a lot of females do some sort of indirect behaviors to which males will usually either fight over this particular person or try to initiate, etc. It's dependent, but a lot of women tend to have these behaviors that are grained into their biology to some extent. That doesn't mean that women are not going to approach you or they're not going to communicate directly. It just means it's a little less often is all I'm saying. Because I know some of you guys would be more comfortable if a woman is initiating, which I can appreciate, and I understand that it just is not going to be as common. And I don't want to lie to you, and you guys know that. And the last one is that she's going to be fidgeting, and particularly it's going to be fidgeting when having discussions. And so this is why this research was in 2010, and this one is not something that you want to take just in and of itself, because it can be a little bit misleading. So we're going to touch on why it can be a little misleading, as well as when it's more of a flirtatious or attraction type of behavior. Now, if she's fidgeting with something and she's always like that, or she's not making eye contact, and it's not during a conversation and it's not seemingly warm, it can be that she's uncomfortable with social interactions in general. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, but she might have social anxiety or generalized anxiety disorder. It may have nothing to do with you, and especially if it seems like she's detached or uncomfortable. Sometimes what can happen if you're in like a relationship with this person, which obviously, hopefully she finds you attractive. Sometimes women do this when they want to say something and they're afraid if they say it that it's going to make you mad or upset. And if you guys are in a relationship, maybe you're already aware of that behavior. So they might be fidgeting because they're thinking, should I say this? Should I not say this? And so bridging that to the attraction portion. Sometimes women do this because they are nervous around you, but sometimes it's because they're thinking, does this person like me? Does this person not like me? And you're seeing that conflict showing up physically with she's fidgeting, etc. She might just be nervous in front of you in general because maybe she feels like you don't like her. Maybe she just likes you and she is not ready to accept that right away. And so there is some sort of internal conflict, whether it's between her and herself or between her and how she's perceiving you. And you're going to see those behaviors. But it is important that most of these things in conjunction means that she's attracted to you. As I've mentioned before, women can be a little bit more indirect than men, not all the time. And so that's why these points are really important, because I don't want you guys to be in a situation where you're trying to initiate something and you're trying to connect with her and then you get yourself rejected or hurt. It's going to happen. Rejection is normal in life, but you don't want to be in a situation where it turns out to be something completely off, right? You don't want that. And so, that's why these points are important. The research is going to be in the description box. I hope this video has helped somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in tea.